The football capital of the world is London. Full of Premier League clubs, full of competition. If you can make it here, you can make it everywhere. Whoever owns London is likely to be among the best teams in the world, attracting the best players, partners and cash. Considering the competition and looking at the last 20 years, we have just witnessed a remarkable comeback story. For a long time, London belonged to Arsenal. But in recent years, it looked much different. London was blue and Arsenal meme material. It was also reflected in the balance sheets. In the last 5 years, Tottenham and Chelsea both made more money than Arsenal. The pandemic made things worse and Arsenal even slipped to 4th place in the City ranking. Until 2023. Arsenal is set to get back on London's football throne, thanks to a far-sighted strategy and a business move that changed the whole club. Welcome to Athletic Interest and how Arsenal reclaimed London. This video was made possible by AG1. To understand a football club, you have to look at the people who run it, starting with the owner. That's particularly true for Arsenal. Sports Illustrated called him the most powerful man in sports. Stan Kroenke owns the second biggest sports empire in the world. That includes franchises from 4 major US sports leagues and Arsenal. As the only non-US team, Arsenal stands out in this lineup. So why did he invest? It started with a business trip to Hong Kong. At the time, Kroenke was already running an MLS team and looking for a partner club to get football knowledge and connections. He realized that all the newspapers in Hong Kong would only report about the Premier League. So he went to England, to the football capital. In Kroenke's eyes, also the financial capital of the world. That was before Brexit. Arsenal and Chelsea quickly emerged as the 2 favorites, but a meeting with the Blues was cancelled last minute. Arsenal had one advantage that Kroenke identified: the newly built Emirates Stadium. Besides sports teams, Kroenke invests in real estate, sometimes combining the two. He likes to own the venues where his teams play. Kroenke's initial investment in Arsenal came in 2007. He then stocked up step by step until he finally owned 100% in 2018, valuing the club at over $2 billion. But he didn't bring the money, nor did he bring sporting success. Arsenal has won 4 titles since Kroenke's first investment. Chelsea has won 4 FA Cups as well, but the Blues also celebrated 3 Premier League titles and won the Champions League twice. No wonder most Arsenal fans want him to leave, and that's probably an understatement. A survey from 2022 revealed that only every 3rd Arsenal fan trusts Kroenke's work. That is pretty bad compared to Matthew Benham and Roman Abramovich. While Brentford follows the Moneyball approach and Chelsea trusts in money from Russia and now the US, Arsenal's strategy is somewhat different, and that is what fans don't like about Kroenke. He cares a lot about sustainability. Financial self-sustainability to be exact. Let's break this down real quick. Simply put, the club is trying to rely on its own resources without receiving outside help. The goal of this approach is to make the club more stable and financially secure in the long term. In practice, this means that for a long time, Kroenke didn't put any extra money into his club. He is not the passionate type of owner, but rather a rational businessman. For example, fans were furious when he moved his Rams from St. Louis to Los Angeles. But Kroenke didn't care. Some say he has a rhino skin when it comes to criticism. And for Kroenke, the deal paid off. The Rams' value doubled in their first year in LA. From LA back to London. Arsenal's self-sustainability sounds like a very smart and responsible way to run a club, or pretty much any enterprise. Unless shit hits the fan. Or in football lingo, you don't qualify for the Champions League. Combine that with a global pandemic and a revenue structure that highly depends on matchday revenue, and your self-sustainability approach means trouble. Clubs like Chelsea or Man City have changed the game. They can afford higher salaries and therefore attract bigger stars. Without external investment, Arsenal ran the risk of getting into a vicious cycle and losing its competitiveness. Failing to qualify for European competitions at all has seen Arsenal's revenue decrease steadily. Rising ticket prices helped the books, but it didn't help to win the hearts of the fans. At the same time, Roman Abramovich invested tons of money into Chelsea and didn't even ask to be paid back when he was forced to sell the club. Todd Boehly reached completely new levels in throwing money around. That's still unthinkable at Arsenal. But something did change in recent years. Just look at the profit and loss trend. For 16 consecutive years, Arsenal recorded a profit. But starting in 2019, Arsenal noted annual losses. The club and Kroenke could have easily avoided a deficit by not buying new players. But the 80 million euros record arrival of Nicolas Pepe sent out a different signal. The times of self-sustainability are over, or at least on hold. Since then, Arsenal has spent almost as much money as Man City. Even more significant, for the first time Kroenke put extra money into the club. The investment came as part of a long-term plan to restructure Arsenal's stadium debt, which turned out to be a masterstroke. So what exactly did Kroenke do? We deep dive into numbers and athletic interest rates now, but bear with us, we promise it will pay off. To build the new Emirates Stadium, Arsenal borrowed money. £260 million in 2006. The interest rate of these loans was between 5 and 6%. A solid rate at the time, but nothing compared to what was possible in the following years after the world faced a financial meltdown. In 2020, 144 million of these loans still had to be paid back. But Kroenke decided to pay off all of that at once. So now, Arsenal owes Kroenke instead, but with much better interest rates. They did have to pay a £32 million fee for paying off the loans all at once, but it will pay off in the long run. Instead of £11 million, they only have to pay £5 million per year in interest payments. For comparison, Man United has to spend £20 million every year. It gets even better for Arsenal. The move freed up £36 million Arsenal had to hold back on a reserve account and was not allowed to use for their squad. Include another roughly £40 million Kroenke granted Arsenal in the last 2 years, and you understand why the whole process of restructuring brought Arsenal new financial freedom. The club itself stated that their squad investments would not have been possible without the support and commitment of the owner. Some examples of their investments since then: Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus, Ben White, Martin Odegaard and Thomas Partey. So the restructuring of their loans led to building the core of their squad. So did Kroenke really change his strategy? There are two angles to this. Some would argue, yes, Arsenal started to overspend their revenue, turning away from a self-sustainable strategy. Since 2019, Arsenal has paid more than 600 million euros for transfers, almost twice as much as in the previous 4 years. But the bigger picture hints at no. Kroenke's fundings came because the pandemic situation required it. Financing the Emirates was linked to matchday revenue. But with that revenue stream dried up, Kroenke had to act. As the rational businessman, he wants to win, but not at any costs. Kroenke saw the low interest rates as a huge opportunity to maximize his return on invest with relatively little effort. Speaking of efficiency, making this video took us many hours of research, writing and editing. As you can imagine, this sort of work can be testing the brain's ability to stay focused. That's why we are incredibly happy about today's video sponsor, Athletic Greens. Yes, it finally happened. Athletic Interest is now sponsored by Athletic Greens. Despite having a fantastic name, we also love the product. AG1 is a premium all-in-one daily supplement that is designed to help you perform at your best. Just one daily scoop provides your body with 75 vitamins, minerals and whole food sourced nutrients. At its core, AG1 has been developed for athletes. Just ask these guys, including investor and 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. The vitamins and minerals in AG1 can support you recover from workouts. For example, magnesium that can help with muscle soreness. Don't get us wrong, it's not a substitute for a healthy diet and working out, but AG1 is a great addition and gives you the peace of mind that your body is getting the stuff it needs to thrive. If this got you interested, go to athleticgreens.com/athletic-interest or click the link in the description to check them out and see the difference yourself. Thanks a lot for supporting us.